everyone, this is Jessica with Whispers of Grace Healing. I am here today to do a few updates. So and this comes with the YouTube healing, the tarot channels. I've been going through this for quite some time of trying to figure out what's the best way to go about my reading so that not only y'all get what you need, but I also feel like I'm being best in service. And as my abilities adapt, then that changes. And I've gotten to the point where, and this is where, as a Taurus, I've always had a hard time with change, but I feel like change is such a beautiful thing now, and I like things to evolve how they need to evolve. So, with that being said, I've decided to not do the Dirty Dozen anymore. That was a huge decision for me because I know a lot of people who follow my channel like really follow the individual zodiac signs, but it was starting to feel more like a chore. It wasn't fun for me anymore, and I noticed that I was actually slacking even more. Like I was gaining anxiety getting up into that point. So I had to kind of re-navigate what I want my channel to look like. Now, that doesn't mean I won't be doing tarot anymore. I'm still going to be doing readings and stuff like that. It's going to be more of an intuitive base. What does spirit need to talk to us about? I'm also going to be working more on channeled messages instead of relying on tarot for these readings, because my mediumship is really, really important to me. Hey, Brooke. And I feel like it's something that I need to develop more within my channel. But we are going to have more conscious conversation. I think it's really time for us to really get to the nitty gritty of what's going on in this world, what's going on within the healing collective, twin flames, divine masculine, divine feminine. I'm going to be doing a lot more research and diving deeper into what all of that means. What up, dude? But yeah, there's going to be a lot of different topics that are going to be coming up. I will be doing some by myself, and hopefully I'll be able to go live so that we can actually have Q&A, because I want this to be more of an interactive discussion. Oh, thank you. The energy has been great, and that comes with some really hard decisions as well. It took me releasing attachment to two very significant connections in my life in order for me to rebuild my energy and get to this place of that 10 of cups, baby. Danny told me it's time to bring that 10 of cups energy back into my life, and that's what I'm doing. So I want to talk about like the things that go into this journey of what we do and what we have to do in order to change our frequency, and understanding what those frequencies mean. And like there's just so much that I want to talk about. There's so much that needs to be discussed. So like I said, some of it will be individual and just kind of a Q&A educational video between me and the tribe, but I'm also going to be bringing other people in on these conversations. So from my tribe, if there's topics that you want to discuss, things that you want to know about, I have a whole list in front of me that I'm going to be just starting on. But if there is anyone that, like Brooke and Danny, y'all are always great people to have these conversations with. And if y'all want to get in on that with me, you just let me know. I'd love to work with y'all on that. And me and Brooke talk about it all the time. Like, these conversations need to be recorded. They need to be shared. And I think it's really important. I mean, I had an hour-long conversation with my mom last night, and it's like, these are the conversations that we need to be having. And I also want to gear not just towards soulmates and twin flames, but conscious relationships. Conscious relationships are so important to me right now. And I think that's kind of where I want to gear this towards, because it's not just romantic. The conscious relationships goes to every relationship within your life, whether that's the relationship you have with yourself, the relationship you have with God, with your romantic partners, with your family, with your friends, with your siblings, with your children. Conscious relationships are so important, and I feel like it's not getting enough attention. And therefore, I see a lot of videos. I've been watching a lot on YouTube of different people's perspectives, and that's another thing I want to touch on, because I love hearing other people's perceptions. And that's another big thing that's been coming up for me, is what may be significant for me might not be significant for the other person of that experience, and vice versa. I'm realizing there's a lot of pieces to my life that I'm not fully aware of, and the more that I dig into that, the more I want to ask, like, what was that to you, and how do you remember it? And I want to take accountability, and if there's something that I don't remember that caused pain for someone else, I want to fix that. And if there's any themes that are surfacing around these people that obviously had a place in my life at one point, but whatever, I was really fucked up back then. I didn't have a great mentality. I didn't have a great mindset. I didn't have enough confidence about myself. And I ended up using people in a sense to gain that validation and that sense of connection. But I know that there's quite a few people that I probably took advantage of that with, and um, probably ended up hurting some feelings. I know I've broken a few hearts, and it's hard to say that you're the problem sometimes, but it's the truth. And no one is always 100% wrong, guys. And I think it's time for us to take accountability for that as well. So again, these are things that I want to talk about. These are things that I want to discuss. And I think it's really important that we allow these conversations to come up, because, like, when I'm talking to my friend Haven, I have a very, I'm very mystical, and I have a really great understanding of what spirituality, what love, what conscious connections are. But when I'm trying to describe them in a 3D term, sometimes I get tripped up a little bit, and sometimes that it can still come off as a fear-based mentality, or something that I feel that y'all are going to resonate more with. But then when I talk to Haven and she puts on her aspect, it just takes me deeper into the rabbit hole, and I'm all about the rabbit holes, guys. That is where the most profound realizations come from, and I'm so thankful for the rabbit holes. So yeah, guys, but I don't want to do the dirty dozen anymore. I don't think it's necessary, and I just want to hone in on what messages are needed most. I'm also going to be doing a lot of videos on what it's really like being an empath. What are signs to look for? Because a lot of people are talking about these subjects, but no one's really giving the tools, right? No one's giving the actual things that we need, or the education behind it. A lot of people are saying you need to work on your feminine. Well, how do you work on your feminine? You need to address your masculine. Well, what do we even need to address in the masculine? What is it like being an empath or a healer in this 3D reality where there's a lot of people around you who are not consciously aware? How does that affect your relationships? How do you navigate relationships without having all the fear of your past behind it? And I actually heard a profound quote from this woman the other day, and she said, if you have not healed from your past and someone triggers that emotion, that you go back there, you're going to respond with the same response that you had when that first happened. So if someone, okay, say that you were in a situation where you have, you know, been bullied or emotionally victimized at some point in your life, and it really hits you down to the inner child, right? And you're like, no, I'm not ugly, no, I'm not fat, no, I'm not this, or whatever the case may be, and you want to have that emotional reaction to it, right? If someone comes back later in life and triggers the same thing, right? If someone comes up to you and says, you're fat, you're ugly, you're this, whatever the case may be, we've all heard something in our life, right? Um, I think it's really important that if you are still triggered by that, there's some sort of truth that you were accepting as truth, and that's why it upsets you, because there's still pain associated to it. You don't have to accept it as your truth, and you don't have to accept someone else's perception of yourself as your truth. And I think those are all things that we need to really acknowledge, that when the trigger is there, you know, because listen, I've been guilty of it too, where someone said, you know, there's all this baggage, right? Women always want to dump their baggage. Well, I thought I had dealt with all my stuff, but yet I was still being triggered by someone telling me that I was playing the victim. Well, you know what I'm saying? I was still being triggered, guys. So, but you got to take accountability, right? So that leads to like the path to forgiveness. How do you truly forgive? What is forgiveness even there for? And I really want to build the psychic tool belt. Okay, the psychic tool belt. What are tools? What are things that we can use? What are ways to turn around a trigger into a lesson for yourself? And all these things that can help you get where you need to be energetically to manifest the life that you so deserve. And so there's all these different aspects, and I know it's going to branch off a million different ways, but these are things that I really feel like we need to discuss and kind of move into. And again, I'm not going to stop doing tarot, I'm not going to stop doing readings. They're just going to be more intuitively based than trying to fit the normal mold of YouTube. Okay, I'm going off in my own direction, guys. So we're going to be working on channeled messages more, meditation and prayer. I'm also going to be opening up my memberships, which that will be coming very soon. I'll have a video and all of that coming out on what those perks are, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. And, you know, adhering to the clientele that I want to attract. People who are looking for ways to help themselves, having more conscious relationships, and people who are either on the healing path or are healers. And that's what I want to attract in, so that's what I'm going to work on, and I am giving the rest up to spirit and allowing things to unfold the way they need to unfold, guys. So I love you guys so much. I hope all of you are doing well. Oh gosh, I don't know about all that, Danny. Send me some pictures, Brooke. But yeah, guys, I really hope that y'all can just rally behind this, send some good vibes. If there's any topics that you want to know about, discuss, or whatever the case may be, if you have any ideas of what you'd like to see on the channel, please email me, comment below, let me know what you think. And if this is something that you'd be interested in. But yeah, guys, I hope all of you have a wonderful day. I'm going to leave it there. Just wanted to kind of touch in with everyone, let you know I'm all thinking about you. I love you so, so much. And if you need me for any reason, please email me at whispersofgrace1016@gmail.com. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.